My girlfriend and her family uninvited me from the $6,000 cabin trip I paid for, saying her brother from Germany needs my spot and told me to stop being so selfish about it. Turns out he's still overseas, and they're bringing some guy to set her up with instead. So I canceled everything. All right, Reddit. This is going to be a long one, but I need to get this off my chest. This whole thing is so messed up, I'm still processing it. So I've, 29 male, been with my girlfriend Aria, 27 female, for about 4 years now. We've been living together for 2 years, talking about getting engaged eventually, the whole deal. Things have been pretty solid between us, or at least I thought they were until this happened. This story starts back in March. I come home from work one day, and Arya's practically bouncing off the walls, excited about something. She's got her laptop out with like 15 browser tabs open, looking at vacation rentals, and she starts going on about this family cabin trip idea she has. According to her, her family never spends quality time together anymore. Everyone's always busy with work, her parents are stressed out from their jobs, nobody really connects anymore. She's laying it on thick about how important family is, and how they need to get away from all the distractions and just focus on each other for a week. Now I should mention that Arya's family has always been kinda weird with me. Not like rude or anything, but definitely distant. Her parents are polite when I'm around, but they don't really include me in family stuff much. Like they'll have family dinners and forget to invite me, or they'll make plans and tell Arya she should come but not specifically invite me along. I've always felt like I'm on the outside looking in with them. So when Arya starts talking about this family bonding trip, part of me is thinking maybe this could be my chance to finally break through with them. Show them I'm serious about their daughter and want to be part of the family long term. The place she found is this super nice cabin up in the mountains like 4 hours from where we live. Has a hot tub, fire pit, private access to this little lake, the whole setup. She's showing me pictures and it looks amazing, like something you'd see in a travel magazine. But then we start talking about cost and reality hits. This place is super expensive. The cabin rental alone is $3,500 for a week. Then you got food for 4 people for a week, gas money for 2 cars to drive up there, probably some dinners out, activities, all that stuff. I'm doing the math in my head, and we're looking at like $6,000 minimum for this whole thing. Now, Aria makes decent money working in marketing, but she's got student loans, car payments, credit card debt from when she was younger, and dumber with money. Plus, she literally just spent like $2,000 on new furniture for our living room last month. So she definitely doesn't have 6 grand sitting around for a vacation. She starts doing this thing where she gets all quiet and disappointed when she realizes the cost. Like she's trying not to show how upset she is, but it's obvious. She keeps saying stuff like, I just really wanted to do something special for my family, and I guess we'll have to find somewhere cheaper. I felt bad for her. Like I said, I've been trying to get closer with her family for years, and here's this perfect opportunity. Plus, she seemed genuinely excited about it. More excited than I'd seen her about anything in a while. So after thinking about it for like a week, I told her let's do it. I'll cover the costs. Her reaction was insane. She literally started crying and jumped on me saying it meant the world to her that I'd do this for her family. Kept thanking me over and over. I spent the next 2 weeks basically becoming their personal travel agent. Found the perfect cabin on this rental website after reading through like 50 reviews to make sure it was legit and not some scam. Booked it for the last week of June, which worked for everyone's schedules. Set up grocery delivery through Instacart, so we wouldn't have to waste time shopping when we got there. Made dinner reservations at this fancy restaurant in the nearby town for one night. Even found a place that rents pontoon boats on the lake because Aria mentioned her dad used to love fishing when she was a kid. Put everything on my credit card. Every single reservation, every deposit, everything has my name on it. I'm basically financing their entire family vacation. The whole time I'm planning this stuff, Aria's texting me updates about how excited her parents are, how this is going to be the best family trip they've ever had, how grateful they are that I'm making it possible. Her mom apparently told her she's so lucky to have found such a generous boyfriend. Not gonna lie, it felt pretty good being the hero for once. Usually when we're around her family, I feel like an outsider. But now I'm the guy making their dream vacation happen. I'm thinking maybe this is what finally gets me accepted into their inner circle. I even went out and bought new hiking boots and camping gear. Got some expensive steaks to grill the first night. Was genuinely looking forward to spending a week in the mountains with them, maybe doing some father-son type bonding with her dad, getting to know her mom better. Everything seemed perfect. Aria was happy. Her parents were excited. I felt like I was finally going to be part of their family. Should have known it was too good to be true. So it's Thursday night, the day before we're supposed to leave for this cabin trip. I took Friday off work specifically so I could get everything ready and packed. I'm actually pretty excited at this point. Been looking forward to this for months. I spent the whole evening getting my stuff together. Even went to the fancy grocery store and picked up some expensive steaks for the first night. Figured I'd impress her dad by grilling something nice. Arya seemed normal that whole week. Maybe a little quiet, but I figured she was just stressed about work stuff. She works for this marketing agency that's always giving her tight deadlines and difficult clients. Nothing seemed off about her behavior. So I'm in the bedroom folding clothes and packing my suitcase when she comes in around 9 p.m. She's got this weird look on her face, like when you're about to tell someone bad news. You know that expression where someone's trying to figure out how to say something? She sits down on the edge of the bed and just watches me pack for a minute. Then she goes, "Nash, can I ask you something? And promise you won't get mad?" Right away, I'm thinking, oh shit, here we go. Nothing good ever starts with "promise you won't get mad." But I tell her, sure, what's up? Do you really want to come on this trip? Like, are you genuinely excited about it? Or are you just doing it because you think you have to? What kind of question is that? I mean, yeah, I'm doing it partly because I want to get closer with her family, but I'm also actually looking forward to a week in the mountains. I tell her, of course, I want to go. I've been planning this thing for 2 months. She gets this expression like she's about to tell me my dog died or something. Really serious and sad looking. Well, the thing is, something came up with my family situation, and we were wondering if maybe it would be better if someone else came instead of you. I stop folding my shirt and look at her. Someone else? What the hell does that mean? My brother Kai just moved back from Germany, where he's been working for the past 2 years. He showed up yesterday completely unexpected, and he's really struggling with the adjustment back to America. You know how difficult it can be coming back from living in another country for so long. I'm trying to process this. Kai? I know she has a brother named Kai who's been working overseas, but this is literally the first time she's mentioned him being back. And now suddenly, he's taking my spot on the vacation? She keeps talking, getting more animated as she goes. He's dealing with reverse culture shock really bad. Everything feels foreign to him now, even though this is his home country. The family thinks it would be really good for him to have a week away from the city to just decompress and reconnect with us. You understand, right? I ask her when exactly he got back. She says yesterday afternoon, just showed up at her parents' house with his suitcases, quit his job in Berlin early, and decided to come home to figure out his next move. This is starting to feel really strange. Why wouldn't she mention something this big until literally the night before our trip? Her brother moving back from another country is kind of a major family event. I tell her, well, that's great. He's back. I'd love to meet him. Maybe we could all go out to dinner tonight before you guys leave tomorrow. Get to know each other a bit. She immediately gets defensive. Oh no, he's not ready for that. He's really overwhelmed right now. Jet lag is hitting him hard, and he's just not in the right headspace to meet new people. The family thinks it's better if he just decompresses with people he's comfortable with first. Okay, so I can't meet him tonight. I ask if I can at least call him or text him. Maybe just say welcome back to America or something. Basic courtesy. She told me he'd specifically asked to keep it just family for now. Said he was feeling too anxious to deal with anyone else while he settled in. According to her, maybe once the trip was over and he'd adjusted a bit, then we could all hang out. This keeps getting weirder. I can't meet him, can't talk to him, can't even text him? What kind of reverse culture shock makes someone unable to handle a 30-second phone call? I ask her if there's any way we could extend the trip by a few days so both Kai and I could go. I mean, I did pay for everything. Seems like we should be able to figure something out. She shakes her head. The cabin's only available for 1 week, and it's already booked solid after that. Plus, my parents really want to focus all their attention on Kai right now. Having too many people there might overwhelm him. I'm getting pretty annoyed at this point, but I'm trying not to show it. This is my trip that I planned and paid for. I've been looking forward to this for months. I took time off work. I bought new gear. And now I'm getting kicked off for someone I'm not even allowed to meet? But at the same time, I don't want to be the asshole who's not understanding about family emergencies. If Kai really is struggling that bad, maybe family time is what he needs. I ask her what I'm supposed to do with all the time off I took. She suggests maybe I could plan a guy's weekend or something. Go visit my college buddies or take a solo trip somewhere. I know this sucks, Nash, but family has to come first sometimes. You understand that, right? And this is just 1 week. We'll have plenty of other opportunities to travel together. She's looking at me with these big puppy dog eyes like she's asking me to be the bigger person here, playing up the guilt about not being supportive of her family in their time of need. Part of me wants to put my foot down and say, no way, this is bullshit. But another part of me is thinking, maybe this is a test. Like maybe this is her family's way of seeing if I'll be supportive when things don't go my way. So I tell her fine. If that's what's best for Kai, then I guess that's what we'll do. But I'm not happy about it. She gives me this big hug, and says she knew I'd understand. Keeps thanking me for being so flexible and supportive. Says it means the world to her family that I'm willing to put Kai's needs first. Then she goes into the other room to call her parents and let them know I'm okay with the change. I can hear her on the phone saying stuff like, Nash is being so understanding, and he really gets that family comes first. I sit there in the bedroom, looking at all my camping gear and expensive steaks, wondering what the hell just happened. 24 hours ago, I was excited about this family bonding trip, and now I'm spending the week alone in our apartment while they're living it up at the cabin I paid for. Something about this whole situation just doesn't feel right, but I can't put my finger on what exactly is bothering me. I couldn't sleep at all that night. I'm laying there in bed next to her while she's sleeping peacefully, like nothing happened, and my brain just won't shut off. Finally, I decide I need to do some detective work. If Kai really did just move back from Germany, there should be some evidence of it online, right? I grab my phone and start looking through Arya's social media. She hasn't posted anything about Kai being back, which seems weird. If my brother surprised me by coming home early from overseas, I'd probably at least put something on Instagram about it. Then I remember that Arya showed me Kai's Instagram account like a year ago, when he posted some pictures from a work conference in Prague. She was proud of him doing well at his job and wanted to show off her successful brother or whatever. It takes me like 20 minutes of searching, but I finally find his profile. Most of his recent posts are typical expat stuff, the kind of stuff you'd expect from an American working abroad. But here's what's weird. His most recent post is from 3 days ago. It's a picture of him and some coworkers at this German beer garden with a caption that says, Friday drinks with the team before the weekend. Posted from Berlin, Germany. If he moved back to America yesterday, like Arya said, why was he posting from Germany just 3 days ago? I mean, maybe he posted it late or something, but that seems like a stretch. I decide to send him a direct message. I figure, what's the worst that could happen? If he really is back and dealing with culture shock, maybe he just won't respond. But if something fishy is going on, I might find out. I type out, Hey Kai, this is Nash, Arya's boyfriend. Heard you're back from Germany. Welcome home, man. Your family's really excited about the cabin trip tomorrow. Hope we get to meet soon. I send it around 1 a.m. and figure I probably won't hear back for a while. Guy's probably dealing with jet lag if he really did just get back. But I wake up around 7 a.m. to a notification on my phone. Message from Kai. What trip? I'm still in Berlin for another 6 months at least. My contract doesn't end until December. Who is this again? I stare at my phone for like 5 full minutes trying to process this. What trip? He doesn't know about any trip? But Arya said he was taking my spot because he needed family time to readjust. I immediately call him on WhatsApp. It's like 1 p.m. in Germany, so he should be awake. He picks up after a few rings, and I can see him clearly in what looks like his apartment. There's German text on stuff in the background, and I can hear European-sounding traffic outside his window. Hey, you're Nash, right? Arya's boyfriend, he says. I'm confused about your message. What cabin trip? I explain about the family vacation that's supposed to start today. How Arya said he just moved back and needed to decompress with family time. He has absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. I definitely haven't moved back to America. I'm not even planning to come home until Christmas. My stomach is starting to drop. But then Kai says something that makes everything click into place. Wait, are you sure you got this right? Because when I called my parents last week, I think I heard them talking about Owen coming on some family trip. They seemed really excited about it. Owen. So Owen is this family friend that Arya's parents absolutely worship. They've known him since he was a kid. He's this successful lawyer now, makes bank, drives a BMW, the whole deal. He's basically everything they probably wish I was. Every single time we're at family events, it's Owen this, Owen that. Did you hear Owen just made partner? Owen bought a new condo downtown. Owen is such a catch. I don't know why he's still single. Meanwhile, I'm sitting right there like I'm invisible. I've always gotten the feeling that her parents wish Arya was dating Owen instead of me. They get this look in their eyes when they talk about him, like he's the golden child they never had. And Owen definitely encourages it. Guy acts like he's doing them a favor just by showing up to family dinners. So let me get this straight. Arya made up this entire story about Kai moving back from Germany so she could kick me off the trip and bring Owen instead? The trip I planned and paid for? I thank Kai for clearing things up and hang up. My hands are literally shaking. I look over at Arya, who's still sleeping peacefully, and I want to wake her up and confront her right now. But I need to be smart about this. I need proof. I grab her phone off the nightstand. She always leaves it unlocked because she's constantly losing it and asking me to call it for her. I know her passcode anyway. I feel like absolute shit going through her phone, but I need to know what's really going on. I go straight to her text messages and start looking for anything about this trip. It doesn't take long to find what I'm looking for. There's a group chat with her parents from yesterday afternoon. The messages make me want to throw her phone across the room. Mom, so excited Owen can finally join us for a family trip. It's been way too long since we've had quality time with him. Dad, he's such a good kid. Remember when he helped us with all that legal paperwork when we refinanced the house? Didn't charge us a penny. Arya, I guess so. I just don't know how to tell Nash he can't come anymore. Dad, just make something up about Kai needing family time. Nash will understand. He's a good guy. I screenshot the entire conversation and text it to myself, then delete the evidence from her sent messages. My heart is pounding so hard, I think I might have a heart attack. So not only did she lie about Kai, but her whole family planned this together. They decided to replace me with Owen and figured they could just make up some story about her brother to justify it. And apparently Owen even offered to pay me back like I'm some kind of vendor. They can just swap out for a better option. The most messed up part? Her dad calling me a good guy, right after suggesting they lie to my face and steal my vacation. These people really think I'm that much of a pushover. I put her phone back exactly where it was and go sit on the couch. Arya comes out like 20 minutes later humming some song, completely oblivious to the fact that I just discovered her entire family thinks I'm disposable. She makes coffee and asks if I want some, kisses me on the forehead and says, "Thanks again for being so understanding about Kai. You're the best boyfriend ever." I almost lose it right there. But instead, I just smile and say, "No problem, babe. Hope you guys have fun." She goes back to the bedroom to finish packing, and I sit there watching her fold clothes for her romantic getaway with another man. A getaway I paid for. That's when I decide I'm not just going to roll over and take this. If they want to play games, I can play too, but I'm going to make sure I win. So Arya leaves around 10 a.m. to go stay at her parents' house for the night. They wanted to get an early start driving to the cabin, so the plan was for her to sleep there, and they'd all leave together around 8 a.m. Friday morning. Perfect timing for what I had in mind. After she leaves, I spend about an hour just pacing around the apartment, trying to figure out my next move. Part of me wants to just text her the screenshots and blow up their whole plan right now. But that felt too easy, too clean. These people thought they could manipulate me and get away with it. I wanted them to actually suffer some consequences. That's when I remember that everything for this trip is in my name. Every single reservation, every deposit, every booking, it's all tied to my credit card and my contact information. I'm not just some random boyfriend they can swap out. I'm literally the person who made this entire trip possible. First thing I do is call the cabin rental company. Lost $800 hurts, but at this point I don't care. It's worth every penny to screw over their little scheme. I tell her yes. Go ahead and cancel it. All right, your reservation has been canceled and refunded minus the fee. The property will be notified immediately that the booking is no longer valid. Is there anything else I can help you with today? I thank her and hang up. One down. Next, I call the grocery delivery service. That one's easier since the delivery was scheduled for Friday afternoon. I just tell them the trip got canceled and I need to cancel the order. No fee for that one since it's more than 24 hours notice. Then I cancel the pontoon boat rental. That's another $300 deposit I get back. The restaurant reservations are easy to cancel online through their website. By noon, I've basically dismantled their entire trip. But I'm not done yet. See, while I was researching cabins originally, I read through tons of reviews to make sure I picked a good place. Most of the reviews for this cabin were positive, but there were definitely some complaints. People mentioned stuff like electrical outlets that didn't work right, weird chemical smells in one of the bedrooms, deck railings that felt loose, that kind of thing. Nothing that would stop you from staying there, but definitely some maintenance issues that the property management company probably should have addressed. So I decide to make an anonymous call to the county health department. I tell them I'm concerned about potential safety issues at this rental property. Mention the electrical problems and weird odors that other guests have reported in online reviews. The guy I talk to takes it seriously, says they'll send someone out to do an inspection, especially since it's a short-term rental property. Apparently, they've been cracking down on vacation rentals that don't meet safety standards. Then I call the county fire marshal's office and do the same thing. Report potential fire hazards due to faulty wiring and structural issues. Again, I'm not making anything up, just pointing them toward problems that paying customers have already documented. Now here's the thing about government inspectors. They don't mess around when it comes to safety complaints, especially for rental properties where people are paying money to stay. They'll shut a place down just to cover their liability if there's any question about whether it meets code. While I'm making these calls, I start thinking about what I want to do with my week off. Originally, I was going to spend it in the mountains with Arya's family. Now I've got 7 days free and no plans. That's when I remember this travel deal email I got last week. Some website was advertising last-minute deals to Costa Rica. All-inclusive resorts with flights included, the whole package. I ignored it at the time because I already had vacation plans. But now, I booked the flight and resort package. My plane leaves at 2 p.m. tomorrow, which is perfect timing. They're supposed to get to the cabin around noon, so I'll be wheels up right around the time they're discovering that their dream vacation has turned into a nightmare. The rest of the afternoon I spend packing for Costa Rica and preparing for the aftermath. I know Arya's going to blow up my phone tomorrow when they realize what happened. I'm trying to decide how to handle that. Do I confront her immediately about the Owen situation? Do I play dumb and act like the cancellations were just a coincidence? Do I wait and see how she reacts before revealing that I know the truth? I finally decide to keep it simple. When she calls freaking out about the cabin being unavailable, I'll just say there was an emergency and I had to cancel everything. See how she handles that. If she comes clean about Owen, maybe we can work through it. If she keeps lying, then I'll know exactly what kind of person I'm dealing with. Around 6 p.m., I get a text from her saying she made it to her parents' house and they're all excited about tomorrow. She sends a picture of her suitcase all packed with a heart emoji. Looking at that picture, knowing she's packing for a romantic getaway with another man using my money, makes me even more sure I'm doing the right thing. I text back saying I hope they have a great time and I'll miss her. Technically not a lie. I will miss the version of her that I thought existed before I found out she was a manipulative liar. That night, I barely sleep again. But this time, it's because I'm excited instead of anxious. Tomorrow morning, they're going to drive 4 hours to a cabin that's locked up with health department notices all over it. Owen's going to be standing there in his khakis and polo shirt looking confused as hell. Arya's going to have to explain to her parents why their perfect family trip just fell apart. And I'm going to be on a plane to paradise, sipping complimentary drinks and not thinking about any of them. My alarm went off at 6 a.m., and for the first time all week, I actually felt rested. The whole morning, I kept checking my phone, waiting for the inevitable call. I knew that sometime between noon and 1 p.m., Arya was going to realize that their perfect family vacation had turned into a complete shit show. I'm sitting at the diner around 11:45 a.m. when my phone starts buzzing. Text message from Arya. Babe, something's wrong. We're at the cabin and there are notices all over the doors. It's locked up and we can't get in. I stare at the message for like 30 seconds before responding. Part of me wants to just ignore it and let her figure it out herself, but I'm curious to see how this plays out. That's weird. What kind of notices? County Health Department and Fire Marshal. Says the property has been deemed unsafe for occupancy pending inspection. Nash, what's going on? I wait another few minutes before responding. Let her sweat a little. No idea. That sounds serious, though. Maybe there was some kind of emergency? My phone immediately starts ringing. I let it go to voicemail. Then it rings again. And again. She calls me like 8 times in 10 minutes. I finally pick up on the 9th call. Nash, thank God. We don't know what to do. The cabin is completely shut down and there's nobody here to talk to. The property management company's phone just goes to voicemail. I can hear voices in the background. Her parents talking to someone, probably Owen. Her dad sounds pissed. That's really strange, Arya. Have you tried calling the rental company directly? Yes. I called like 5 times, and they keep saying the reservation was canceled yesterday due to a family emergency. But we never canceled anything. This is where I have to be careful. I want to reveal the truth, but I need to do it right. Wait, they said it was canceled? By who? They won't tell me. They just keep saying the person who made the reservation called yesterday and canceled due to an emergency. But Nash, you're the one who made the reservation. Perfect. She's figuring it out herself. I told her to put me on speaker. I hear some shuffling and then her dad's voice. Nash? What the hell is going on here? We drove 4 hours to a condemned building. Yeah, I canceled the reservation yesterday. Complete silence. Then everyone starts talking at once. I can hear Arya going, what? Why? And her mom in the background asking what happened, and Owen saying something about this being unacceptable. Quiet! Her dad yells. Then back to the phone. Nash, why would you cancel our family vacation without telling us? Well, sir, here's the thing. Arya told me I couldn't come because Kai needed to take my spot for family bonding time. But when I talked to Kai yesterday, he told me he's still in Berlin and has no idea about any trip. Another long silence. He also mentioned that you guys were excited about Owen joining you, which is interesting because Arya never mentioned Owen to me. I can hear Arya starting to say something, but her dad cuts her off. Nash, I think there's been some kind of misunderstanding here. The line goes completely quiet except for some background noise. I can picture them all standing around looking at each other, trying to figure out what to say. Finally, Arya speaks up. Nash, please let me explain. It's not what you think. I can hear the boarding announcement for my flight in the background. Don't call me again. I hang up and immediately turn my phone to airplane mode. I don't want to deal with the inevitable flood of calls and texts while I'm trying to enjoy my vacation. Walking to the gate, I feel this huge weight lifted off my shoulders. For the first time in years, I'm not worried about impressing Arya's parents or trying to fit into their family. I'm just a guy going on vacation to a beautiful beach resort where nobody knows me and nobody has any expectations. The resort is even nicer than the pictures online. I unpack, take a shower, and head down to one of the restaurants for dinner. Around 10 p.m., I finally turn my phone back on to check messages. 73 missed calls, 45 text messages, 12 voicemails, all from Arya and her family. I don't read any of them. Instead, I post a picture of my dinner with the ocean in the background and caption it, "Sometimes the best family trips are the ones you take alone." Then I turn the phone back off and go to bed in my king-size bed, listening to waves crash on the beach. Best decision I ever made. I land at the airport Sunday night around 9 p.m. and turn my phone back on properly for the first time in a week. The message count is insane. Over 200 texts from Arya, dozens of voicemails, missed calls every single day. Her parents tried calling me too, and even Owen left me a voicemail. I decide to listen to Owen's voicemail first since I'm curious what that asshole has to say for himself. Nash, it's Owen. Look, man, I think there's been a huge misunderstanding here. I never asked to replace you on this trip, and I had no idea you weren't going to be there until we showed up at the cabin. Arya's parents invited me, but they told me you couldn't make it because of work. I would never have gone if I knew the real situation. This whole thing is messed and I'm staying out of it. Just wanted you to know I wasn't part of whatever scheme this was. Interesting. So Owen claims he was innocent in all this. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he's just trying to cover his ass now that everything blew up. Either way, I don't really care. I scroll through some of Arya's texts just to get an idea of what's been going on. The messages start out angry, then turn desperate, then back to angry, then sad. It's like watching someone go through the 5 stages of grief in real time. I can't believe you ruined our family trip. Do you have any idea how embarrassing this was? I don't understand how you can just throw away 4 years like this. What we had was real. Fine, don't respond. But you're being childish and vindictive. I made one mistake and you're acting like I cheated on you. That last message actually made me laugh out loud. One mistake? Lady, you orchestrated an elaborate lie involving multiple family members to steal my vacation money and replace me with another man. That's not a mistake. That's a conspiracy. I get home around 10 p.m. and I can immediately tell Arya's been there. Some of her stuff is missing from the bathroom and bedroom. Not everything, but like she took a few days worth of clothes and toiletries. Probably went to stay with her parents after I made it clear I was done. Monday morning I wake up and there's a knock at my door around 8 a.m. I look through the peephole and it's Arya. She looks terrible, like she hasn't been sleeping or eating much. I open the door but don't invite her in. We need to talk, she says. No, we don't. I think everything that needed to be said got said on Friday. Nash, please. Just give me 10 minutes to explain myself. Against my better judgment, I let her in. But I don't sit down, and I don't offer her coffee or anything. I want to make it clear this isn't a social visit. She starts crying immediately, and launches into this whole speech about how she never meant to hurt me, how her parents pressured her into inviting Owen, how she was scared to tell me the truth because she knew I'd be upset. My parents have always loved Owen like a son, she says. When they found out he was going through a tough time with his breakup, they really wanted to include him in family stuff. I should have told you, but I didn't know how. So instead, you made up an elaborate lie about your brother and tried to steal my vacation? I panicked. I knew if I told you the truth, you'd be hurt and angry. I thought maybe if we just did this one trip with Owen, it would get it out of their system and things could go back to normal. The more she talks, the angrier I get. She's still not taking responsibility. Everything is someone else's fault. Her parents pressured her. Owen was going through a hard time. She was scared of my reaction. No acknowledgement that what she did was fundamentally dishonest and disrespectful. Arya, do you understand that you stole from me? I paid $6,000 for a vacation that you plan to exclude me from. That's theft. It's not theft. I was going to pay you back. With what money? You're broke, remember? That's why I paid for everything in the first place. She finally leaves around noon, still crying and asking me to think about it. That afternoon, I get a call from her dad. He wants to clear the air and see if we can work things out like adults. I tell him there's nothing to work out. His daughter lied to me and tried to steal my money. We're done. Nash, you have to understand that Owen has been part of our family for 20 years. When he's going through a difficult time, we want to support him. That's fine. Support whoever you want. But don't use my money to do it, and don't lie to me about it. He tries to argue that it wasn't supposed to be permanent, that they just wanted to help Owen through his breakup, blah blah blah. I cut him off. Here's what I understand. You never saw me as part of your family. After 4 years with your daughter, I was still just some guy you could easily replace. That tells me everything I need to know about what you think of me. The conversation ends with him saying, I'm being unreasonable and immature. Whatever helps him sleep at night. Arya moves her stuff out Wednesday while I'm at work. Leaves the key on the kitchen counter with a note saying she loves me and hopes I'll change my mind someday. It's been 3 months now and I have zero regrets. My life is so much better without all that family drama and manipulation. I've been dating again, and it's amazing how much easier it is when you're with someone whose parents actually like and respect you.